You've probably noticed by now that your 3-year-old is not only becoming more talkative, but also more curious of the world around them. This is where the Lovevery the Problem Solver play kit shines. In this video, I'll give you my thoughts on this play kit, as well as find cheaper alternatives on Amazon to try to recreate this kit. The Problem Solver includes 6 activities for your child and 1 play guide for the parent. The Montessori math bars, number tiles, and counters allow you to assist your child in learning numbers in a couple of different ways. This set provides a visualization of the quantities to count, line up, and compare, which makes it easier for your child to learn the fundamentals of math. The obvious way to use this is to match the bars and tiles by teaching counting as well as by colors. You can also use it to compare the tile lengths using the terms like more, less, first, and last to increase the math vocabulary. With the counters, you can set up the bars and tiles in order and have your child match the numbers using colors initially and eventually move to numbers. When placing a counter onto a tile, you can have your child count the number as they go. I found that these activities have been a fun way for my son to learn about math and numbers, and around 43 to 45 months old, depending on your child, generally they're pretty fascinated by little things, so these counters are great at drawing their attention. Once your child has become more familiar with the numbers, you can even use this set to teach them math skills such as subtraction and addition. The Turtle Hatch game is a very simple game in which the goal is for everyone to work together to get the turtles into the water before the sun comes up. Basically, everyone takes turns rolling a die, and if it lands on a side with dots, you move one of the turtles down that many steps. If you get the water drop symbol, you use the green scoop to get some water into the play area to make the C. The last symbol is the sun, which means you place one of the sun pieces into the circle. The idea is to get all 3 turtles down into the water before you fill up the circle with the sun pieces. This game not only encourages team play, but also the taking turn aspect helps your child practice self-regulation and impulse control. While of course winning always feels nice, there are times we lose too, which is part of life. This game allows us to teach our children that sometimes we lose or fail, but we can always just try again. Each game only lasts about a few minutes, so it's very easy to play multiple games. Of course, this is a game of luck, so there's no guarantee that you'll win the next game, but the few times we've played, we've mostly won. The measuring tape doesn't look like anything special, but my son loves it. He loves mimicking me when he sees me use my tape measure. Like typical measuring tape, it has numeral increments, but more importantly, it also has different colors. This gives them a sense of how long something is, as at this age they don't quite know how to read the numbers. The color changes each foot, or roughly 30 centimeters. Not only is this measuring tape easy for small hands to use, it also has held up fairly nicely over the past year of random abuse it's seen from both my son and now my daughter. And the only reason why ours even got damaged is because, well, we recently fostered some kittens and their teeth are pretty sharp, so this tape measure really didn't stand much of a chance. I'm not quite sure which item in this play kit my son likes the most, as he's had a blast with quite a bit of them, but the liquid color lab is definitely high on that list. Anytime water is involved, my son generally has fun, and now throwing in the ability to mix colors to make new colors, he's going to have a blast. This little lab gives your child the opportunity to do their own experiments. There are color caps that help tell your child which color goes where. I found that it's easier to place the caps under each tube instead of covering them back up, as it's too much of a hassle to remove each time my son wants to insert a dropper in. They include these color tablets that cover the 3 primary colors, and you can use the primary colors to make the 3 secondary colors. This can get a bit messy, so I definitely suggest using a tray of some sort to contain everything, or at least play on a table that's easily cleaned. The tray for the liquid lab and the investigator works perfect for this. The only downside of the liquid lab is that you'll eventually run out of the color tablets. They do come with a decent amount of tablets, but it's not infinite. Luckily, I found some on Amazon that can be purchased as refills. The reusable bamboo towel at first might seem like it's just for your child to make fun artwork, but it's allowing your child to continue practicing their pincer grasp, as well as learn the different force needed to use a dropper. They can also see how the different color interacts when dropped onto the towel. I haven't really tried this yet, but Lovevery suggests using absorbent art paper to dry and save your child's artwork. I'm also happy to let you know that the tablets included that makes the water colorful is washable, meaning it shouldn't stain anything it gets on. I know that all the towels that we've used to clean haven't been stained, so that's a good thing. The wooden wobble puzzle not only challenges your child's fine motor skills, but is also an exercise in flexible thinking and mental rotation. This is pretty tough as the base tilts and can be toppled over if not balanced properly. My son still finds it too challenging to do this activity upright, but he still has fun doing the puzzle when it's laid flat. There are multiple correct solutions to this puzzle, but if you find yourself in a rut, the puzzle that the box comes in, it has a solution on there. Uncle Rob's Pizza Party book focuses on connecting with empathy and love. 3-year-olds don't have the tact that us adults have learned in navigating sensitive topics. Usually when they point something out, they're not doing it to make fun or judge, they're just trying to make sense of what they're seeing. Disabilities aren't always easy subjects to talk about, but it's important for our children to understand them. This book allows a way for us to have conversations with our child and gives them the opportunity to ask questions and understand. While the play guide isn't an activity for a child, it probably is the most important item inside the play kits. Like all other play guides from other play kits, this dives into how your child's brain is developing at this age range. It also guides parents on how to introduce the items from this play kit. And the last section has additional activities for your child to do that mostly doesn't involve the items from this play kit. Not too long ago, Lovevery introduced book bundles, which basically added additional books to the play kit for $18. Measurement Day is a book that talks about conflict and resolution. But not only is the story great, it also helps your child enjoy the tape measure even more. My son loves it whenever he sees one of the toys he owns inside the book. Because of that, this book has recently become one of his favorites since he can also take out his tape measure to play along. The other book, You Decide, is basically one of those choose your own adventure book where you can let your child decide what the main character in the book does. I found that having the option for my son to decide how the story turns out helps him connect that depending on the choices he makes, there are different consequences. Overall, I really love the idea behind the book as it's helped me facilitate some other scenarios that has happened in real life. It gives me a point of reference that my son can easily remember. So for an additional $18, I think these two books are definitely a great add, as most board books or books even in general go for about $10. So it's within the same price point as other books out there. If you ask me if this play kit is worth the $120 price tag, I would definitely say yes. It's not a cheap price, but it not only is the physical quality included items great, the thought and research on each of the activity helps your child learn while having fun. But I know that some of you are probably thinking, can't I just find alternatives on Amazon and recreate the same experience? Well, I've actually attempted that myself. Let's see if it's actually cheaper. There are a couple tape measures for kids on Amazon, but none of them have the same color sections as Lovevery, so I just picked this one that's decently priced with good reviews. Surprisingly, there are quite a bit of different products similar to Liquid Color Lab, but many include a bunch of other science experiments. This one is nice as it has similar concept of the color tablets and test tubes, although instead of 6 test tubes, it has 3 test tubes and 3 beakers. I couldn't find anything exactly like Lovevery math set, but this counting activity is very similar in that it comes with number tiles, counting pegs, and boards to put the pegs that can be matched to the number tile. Only thing that's really missing is the colors, which really would make the activity a bit more friendly for younger children. While not exactly the same as the wobble puzzle, the stacking block game has similar concept of using fine motor skills to stack and balance everything on a base. Once again though, the Amazon alternative isn't exactly the same, as this really isn't a puzzle but just stacking. There are quite a bit of books that teach children about how everyone is different, but I like this one in that it uses real images. The Save the Turtle game is pretty unique, or at least I don't know the correct words to search to find a game that's like it. However, the Squirrel game touches on many of the same concepts that the Turtle game does, as it's a cooperative game and you can have the ability to lose. I actually have this board game and my son does enjoy playing it, but it's a bit more complicated as they also throw in the aspect of colors. If you bought everything that I just mentioned, it would cost $95.35, which is about $25 cheaper than the play kits. Of course, this doesn't factor in the play guide, as that would be impossible to find an alternative for. This might lead you to think, why would I get the play kit if it's cheaper to just purchase alternatives on Amazon? Well, first off, there are many alternatives that I couldn't find anything that was exactly the same. And second, some of the alternatives that I did find are missing key features that make Lovevery items more attractive. Knowing that I could possibly save $25 by going with buying alternatives on Amazon is pretty enticing. However, after seeing how my son has interacted with all of these toys, I would say that the Lovevery one is still worth the $120, especially since many of the items are very unique and you can't really find the exact replacement on Amazon. Let me know down below if you think the extra cost of the play kit is worth it over just purchasing similar concept items on Amazon. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as chances are you'll probably like my other videos. And I'll see you in the next one.